Yo, welcome to Urban Gameplay Gaming Countdown. It's Matt Pepper, counting down the hottest games.
Yo, what's good, peeps? We hit that point to wrap up the 7th generation countdown series, and time to look at my favorite 10 games across the Wii, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. We looked at the exclusives on each of these consoles in recent weeks, but now it's time to see where all the hottest games of this generation rank amongst each other. As per usual, it's going to be one game per franchise, and also only games that I personally enjoyed playing or simply played the most. So this list will obviously ruffle a few feathers, but anyway, let's get down to business and take a look at my top 10 games of the 7th generation.
Number 10.
Yo, when I reflect on the 7th generation games and games that definitely stood out for me when putting this list together, I had to consider the amazing Ultra Street Fighter 4. Hands down, to me, this is definitely one of the best fighting games of the 7th generation. For me, I also spent countless hours playing this game and really do appreciate how Capcom reinvented the Street Fighting experience, and I felt that the game definitely brought Street Fighter back to the essence of the Street Fighter roots, which we definitely experienced back on Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the Super Nintendo. This to me has to be one of the best games that I played on my Xbox 360, and therefore was no way I could leave this game off my list.
Number 9.
Yo, after the release trailer for Infinite Warfare, some gamers were not over impressed with the general consensus that the series was taking, but as the premium version of Infinite Warfare seems to be bundled with a remastered version of Modern Warfare, this has more people hyped than the brand new Call of Duty itself. That right there definitely goes to show just how successful of a game the first Modern Warfare was. Even now, people play Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare because it did so much right, and in my personal opinion, it's definitely one of the main reasons why Call of Duty is the franchise it is today. The story was a great experience and was definitely worth more than a second playthrough, and from my perspective, what is now a staple of the Call of Duty name was really set up from the first time in Modern Warfare, as many people have collectively played hundreds upon thousands of hours devoted to multiplayer, all that for quick 10 minutes fix of team deathmatch or search and destroy.
Number 8.
Yo, South Park: The Stick of Truth was a title that a lot of people had thought would never actually come out. Considering the development studio had delayed it for a couple of times already, it looked like no one would ever get their hands on the title. Soon enough though, The Stick of Truth was released, and the turn-based RPG has everything you could ever want out of an RPG game, as well as the South Park franchise. I believe the number of individuals were concerned about how the South Park name might end up being censored, leading to a title that's not really what you want from a South Park game. What they got, however, was a game that was staged true to the South Park humor and the style, much to the happiness of the fans, and was actually nearly a game that went under my radar, but I was so delighted to have the opportunity to play this game, and it's definitely a great game from the 7th generation.
Number 7.
Yo, for years, Batman was stuck with some pretty bad or mediocre titles to its name, but with the release of Arkham Asylum, it was the title the fans of the Caped Crusader were hoping for. With the sequel Arkham City, the developers took everything that was good and enjoyable about the previous title and threw it into an open world sandbox, and it only improved the games tenfold. In my opinion, Arkham City was the type of game that Batman has always deserved, and that's exactly what he got. With the myriad of evil villains to sink your fist into, there is just too much to enjoy in this game to warrant leaving it off the list. And for those who never had the opportunity to play Arkham Asylum or Arkham City and have a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, please do yourself a favor and pick up the remastered version of this game, which should be dropping anytime soon within the next couple of months or so. And that's definitely a reason why I had to place this game on the list, because it is an exceptional title.
Number 6.
Yo, Bioshock is such a phenomenal franchise, and to be fair, it was definitely difficult to choose which one to place on the list. Bioshock 2 is a phenomenal game, but there was something about Bioshock Infinite which made me had to move towards this title to place it amongst my favorite 7th generation games of all time. The graphics are excellent, the voice acting is top notch, and the world is well built. I really do love the characters in the game and the way that they are well scripted to give you a sense of attachment to them. For some, maybe playing this game in 2016 might feel a bit dated or a bit off with the controls and so, but I do feel that the story and the immersive gameplay that will definitely still be relevant in 2016, and it's certainly worth buying if you get the opportunity to play this game, because I do feel that this is one of those historical games which all gamers should experience at some time in their life.
Number 5.
Yo, when it comes to humor, a well-structured and gripping storyline and just immersive gameplay, then Portal 2 certainly ticks all the boxes. The co-op campaign is phenomenal, and personally I do love the physics in this game. At some points I'm simply blown away how great the physics actually are. The game presents such a great challenge, but at the same time it makes you know what a great video game is supposed to look and play like. The game is what many describe as one of the best games, if not the best game of the 7th generation, and I would definitely find it hard to disagree. Obviously we have our own preferences, but at the same time this is certainly a hidden gem that so many gamers have failed to experience, and I feel that if you haven't had the opportunity to play this game before, it might be worth taking a look into it because it is really a remarkable game.
Number 4.
Yo, let's be real peeps, I can't imagine anyone that is majorly surprised to see this game on this list, not when you realize just how loved the GTA franchise is to many players out there across the globe. With GTA 4 being heralded as a good game but tried too hard to be serious, it left some players with a bad taste in their mouth. However, the minute GTA 5 trailer saw the light of day, gamers around the world were up in arms for the next Grand Theft Auto game to drop. You know what they got instead of an overhyped game from a publisher with too much money? They really got a great third-person experience in terms of a sandbox game, which definitely delivered on all fronts. The hype was definitely real when GTA 5 dropped. Due to the fact that I was a real Rockstar fan, I still did kind of enjoy Grand Theft Auto 4, but at the same time I do feel GTA 5 definitely returned to its original roots. Considering that GTA 5 is one of the most sold games in history, it has a well-deserved position on this list. For me, I love all elements they brought to the table, such as the immersive online experience with a really good single-player story mode, the radio stations is great, and even the remastered version which appeared on the PS4, the Xbox One and also the PC is superb, just given the fact that Rockstar are giving so much content for free to all the players around the world. All in all, I was really proud of what Rockstar brought to the table in form of Grand Theft Auto 5. It definitely was a remarkable game and one that would definitely go down in history as one of the greatest games of all time.
Number 3.
Yo, believe me please, I had to make a split decision as I still can't decide between these two gems as to which one I definitely have to give the edge to, and as I didn't really want to waste two slots, I had to put these games both on the list and make them join. I know on the PlayStation 3 countdown list I specified the positions of which one I do prefer, but as I mentioned in that video, my opinions will always continue to change as these both games have a different impact to me for different reasons. Let's take a look at Uncharted 2 first. For me, Uncharted 2 made sure to make good use of the PlayStation 3 hardware and create a great looking game for the time, and even to today's standards they're pretty darn good. On top of that, the story once again was improved and expanded on, and yet we definitely got a cinematic moment that Uncharted series is known for. For those who don't know, Uncharted 2 plays like you're watching a great action movie and yet you're getting to play it. I still remember when I first ever touched this game, I was simply blown away how amazing it was, and even the other day when I was playing the remastered version of Uncharted Part 2 on the PlayStation 4, I was like, this game is definitely a phenomenal title and I definitely couldn't leave this game off my 7th generation list. Yo, moving into The Last of Us. The Last of Us is a similar title to that of Uncharted with the fact that it's being developed by the same studio. Despite the third person shooter nature of the two games are pretty similar, the worlds they're in could not be more different. Yo, the first thing that comes to mind when The Last of Us crops up has to be one of two things: the gorgeously designed settings of the post-apocalypse and the characters. Yo, this right here is a definition of a story-based game and is so well told and woven within both cutscenes and main gameplay, and you can see the attachment and relationship between the two main characters have and build towards. Naughty Dog did so much right in this title, it's no surprise at why it's such a perfect score for so many reputable online sources. All in all, these two epic titles that need to be applauded of just how impactful they are in the gaming industry, and there was no way, as I said before, that I could leave both off the list.
Number 2.
Yo, to me, Red Dead Redemption is among my favorite Rockstar games of all time, not to mention my favorite 7th generation game. This game brought something special to the table upon its release that still has me gassed to this day. This was definitely sitting at my number one spot for so long in my mind for ages when putting this list together, but literally just missed out. I think it's safe to say that Rockstar definitely took a leap of faith when they moved away from their main selling franchise GTA and instead chose to focus on Red Dead Redemption for a while. It turns out that was a great idea because a third-person shooter shooter designed almost exactly like GTA, only set in the Wild Wild West, was definitely a brilliant design choice. By the end of the game, you'll quickly find yourself falling more and more in love with the character John Marston and his story, hoping that it never comes to an end. Following that up with the most loved DLC ever created, Undead Nightmare, Red Dead Redemption has only become more loved as the franchise has gone by over the years, and definitely we're campaigning for Red Dead Redemption 2, so who knows what will definitely be revealed in the coming weeks, months or years by Rockstar, but I'm definitely holding out for a Red Dead Redemption 2 because this game is certainly phenomenal.
Number 1.
Yo, on a level, as always, picking number 1 for these type of lists is extremely difficult, as you'll always have a specific reason behind why you enjoy a game, whether it be for the story, the enjoyability factor, or just the overall experience. And for me, Mass Effect 2 definitely ticked every box possible when I was asking a question as to what was my best 7th generation game of all time. As I mentioned in the previous one when I said Red Dead Redemption definitely was sitting at the number 1 spot, and it's hard to deny that that game is phenomenal, but there was something about Mass Effect 2 which I definitely can't overlook. For those who don't know, Mass Effect 2 is the sequel to the original Mass Effect game, which is a third-person shooter mixed with a sci-fi based RPG world. In the original Mass Effect, you come across a number of potential teammates to acquire for your squad, all while learning their backstory throughout. But when it came to Mass Effect 2, they improved more or less on everything you can think of. The story only got improved, and having to make difficult decisions as Commander Shepard was made all the more difficult, with both old fan favorites and newer beloved characters being thrown into the fray. All individuals that could die at some point in the game because you had to make a tough call. Not only was the story in Mass Effect a big improvement over the first, the combat also took a shiny step forward in leaps and bounds and really brought the Mass Effect series into full force for the fans of the series. Even though you would have to play the first Mass Effect to get a real background behind the story, Mass Effect 2 is easily a title that takes a spot on this list. Another reason this game actually topped my list is because even though I don't run on the achievements or trophies, this is actually the only game I recall on my Xbox 360 obtaining all the achievements possible for the game. I completed this game twice, once on normal and once on insanity, and that definitely shows just how much I love this game, probably racking up over about 100 hours of gameplay in total. Till today, I do look back at how epic the adventure was, and I definitely enjoyed every single moment of playing this game that I'm lost for words. All in all, for those who had the enjoyment of playing Mass Effect 2 back in the days, should at some point relate to just how great this game is, and maybe not just the greatest game in the 7th generation, but definitely amongst the greatest games ever created. Anyway, peeps, I know this list was definitely longer than I anticipated it to be. I really wanted to do this video under 10 minutes, but obviously sometimes when you're so passionate about some of these games, I had to give a little bit more information. Do hit the like button if you enjoyed the content, and also do let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the list that I put together and what was your favorite game of the 7th generation. Do also mention any games that I missed off the list that you feel should have been in there, and do let me know the order of which you would have played some of these games that I've mentioned, whether you agree or disagree. I hope you did enjoy the video. Do hit the like button as I mentioned before, and also do subscribe to the channel if you've not had the opportunity to do so already. And until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out, peeps.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.